Hello, this is Breakfast with Ben Thompson and Sally Nugent.
Good morning to you. Here's a look at what's coming up on the programme this morning.
Hasn't it? We're staying with the sporting theme because Mike is in Birmingham for us this morning. And Mike, it's the final day of the Commonwealth Games. We're looking back and we're looking ahead a little bit too, aren't we?
Morning. I don't know how he's fit it all in.
No.
All of this coverage from there in Birmingham, plus the sports relief stuff, plus all the guests that he's got this morning. You've got a really busy week, or you've had a busy week, haven't you, Mike?
Oh, it's been brilliant, though. I love it. I love it. As I always say, sleep is for cats.
We'll see you in a little bit. Thanks, Mike.
Mike, thank you very much indeed. Sleep is for cats?
That's
is that what he says? I really don't agree with that.
No, we need that.
I don't think Carol would agree with that either. Morning, Carol.
Good morning, both. No, but it's a brilliant saying, isn't it? I'll be using that one this morning.
It is exactly what 12-year-old Alyssa from North Wales has been doing, and this year she's made more than 200 blankets from almost 10,000 crisp bags before donating them to organisations that support rough sleepers, as Dan Hurd reports. Genius idea.
It's so simple,
Yeah,
but so
really
effective.
good.
I didn't know you could just kind of melt them together like that as well.
Well done, Alyssa.
Yeah, great news.
Now, the Post Office says it has handled a record number of cash withdrawals recently as more people use it to stay on top of their budgets.
Yeah, that goes against the recent trend that consumers were abandoning cash in favour of cards. Nina's with us. Nina, interesting one this, isn't it? Because the idea that you've got a bit of cash in your pocket, you know exactly how much you've got left to spend, and crucially, you're not getting yourself into debt if you're just using cash.
Yeah, exactly that. So the number of times I sat here and talked about the decline in almost became mandatory, didn't it? But year on year, the number of withdrawals has gone up by around 20%. It's really 20. The number of transactions via cash went from 50% all the way down to 17%. Last month alone, we saw an 8% increase again, so it could incrementally go up. What's important to look at here is the reasons why. It's exactly what you were talking about, Ben. It's people saying, I can't just be frivolous, tapping away here, there and everywhere and losing that money. I can't even have my direct debits on account because it's the cash could be making a comeback increasingly. It's not just the pounds, but the pennies matter even more.
And interesting, you say it's such a reversal, isn't it? It's almost that paying with contactless or maybe, you know, on your phone has become so easy.
Yeah.
And that was the point of it, and that's why we loved it. But when we're facing a bit of a squeeze on our incomes, actually, you want it to be a bit more difficult to spend.
And you want to be able to taking out your money at the beginning of the holiday saying, this is our budget.
It is one of those things where you do feel a little bit more in control if the cash is in your pocket and you see where it's going. It's psychological, isn't it?
Definitely, but as
Good morning. Welcome to Breakfast with Ben Thompson and Sally Nugent.
Good morning. Our headlines for you at 7 o'clock. London were strip searched by police between 2018 and 2020, and nearly a quarter were done without an appropriate adult present.
The Children's Commissioner for England has published the figures obtained from the Metropolitan Police 3 months after a safeguarding report concluded that the strip search of a 15-year-old girl known as Child Q was unjustified. Celestina Ololode reports. Ceasefire agreement to end 3 days of fighting between Israel and the Palestinian militant group Islamic Jihad is holding after a shaky start.
Just prior to the truce deadline,
Conservative leadership candidate Rishi Sunak has said Liz Truss's plans to cut tax simply won't touch the sides of dealing with the cost of living crisis.
writing in the Sun newspaper, the former Chancellor said his rival's plan would leave those who most need help out in the cold.
We're joined now by our political correspondent, Nick. We'll also be talking, won't we, about what to do, how to look after your garden at the moment.
Yeah, some top tips for you if indeed you are subject to a hosepipe ban or one is imminent where you're living in the country, what you can do to keep your garden in check but not use a hosepipe and make sure you can save a little bit more water.
We're going to return to our top story now, and the story about some people who simply can't get a dentist appointment and are being forced to take extreme measures to cope with their pain, like removing their own teeth at home with pliers.
Yeah, this comes as a BBC investigation has found that 9 in 10 NHS dentists across the UK are not accepting new adult patients.
We're joined now by Justin Durham, Professor of Orofacial Pain at Newcastle University, and dentist Paul Woodhouse, who sits on the board of the British Dental Association. Justin, if I could just come to you first of all, why is the...
It is the final day of the Commonwealth Games. So, Mike, it might be the last day, but it's another busy one, isn't it?
Yeah, hugely busy.